4,256. That is the amount of hits former All-Star and Major League player Pete Rose had. One mistake from Pete Rose shattered every achievement and effort he once owned in the sport of baseball. That one mistake occurred in 1989 when Pete Rose admitted on gambling in the sport of baseball. This is prohibited in the sport. However, this did not change the way Pete Rose played the game. Now he left his mark on baseball forever. He played on a relentless and fearless level that no player ever dared to come close to. Yet, after a marvelous career from 1963 to 1986, Pete Rose has yet to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, I know some of you may not be interested in the topic of baseball, and that is okay, but throughout my speech today, I just want you guys to think about second chances in any part of your guys' lives, and ask yourself if you're willing to give someone a second chance. In the next 10 minutes, I want to be able to explain to you why I believe Pete Rose deserves a second chance and is worth being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. I will do this by explaining the great baseball player he was, the reasons why his gambling issue was far less worse than any type of player that's taken steroids in baseball, and how he's changed the game forever. But first, let me further your knowledge about Pete Rose. Growing up in a family full of baseball fans, my father and I love talking about guys who hustle and leave it all out on the field. Pete Rose was that type of player. Even when I talked to my grandpa this past Easter weekend, he even loved hearing memories about Pete Rose. He explained how he found it amazing that even on the hottest, scorching July summer days, you'd find Pete Rose out on the baseball field playing his heart out. Pete Rose's 4,256 hits is the most by any Major League player in history. He also owns records in most at-bats and most games played. According to editors from Biography, Rose was nicknamed Charlie Hustle for his competitive style of playing. Rose played his first 14 seasons in his hometown of Cincinnati and ended his final 10 seasons in Philadelphia. These 24 years led to multiple Most Valuable Player awards, batting titles, defensive awards, and 2 World Series titles. Now I'm going to show you a short video of just how Pete Rose played the game. I just started it out.
What made Pete Rose so tough was this. If you hurt him, and he's laying down there, and he isn't breathing, right? And the coroner says he's dead. That's a bad thing that coroner just said. Unless you absolutely have killed him, you will never stop him from coming after you.
The road to the World Series went through the Reds. The team's personality came from Pete Rose. It's just something about Pete, you look at him going, he's going to be a damn tough guy to beat. You couldn't have.
Now that you learn more information about Pete Rose, I'm going to discuss his gambling mistake and the effects of it. According to Shaw Lawman in the article The Pete Rose Case, he clarifies that Rose did indeed break Rule 21 of the Major League Rules Misconduct, which states that the law of gambling is prohibited by any player, umpire, or club. If in fact this rule is broken, whoever is subject to the matter shall be permanently ineligible. Yes, Pete Rose did in fact break the rule. However, there was never a time in his career where he tanked a game or took money to lose. If he did wager the game, it was always to win and succeed. The statistics and numbers on the field are even there to prove it. Rose once quoted in the article from A&E Television, quote, I didn't cheat to get all those records. You know, like a lot of guys are doing in the last 10 years. I didn't cheat at all. I messed up, but I didn't cheat. I didn't cheat the game, end quote. Although Pete Rose made a gambling mistake, he has to remember that there are far worse things to occur, such as players taking steroids in baseball. People may never forget the mistake Rose made, yet they should acknowledge that he did not cheat the game like steroid users are doing today. Jim Bunning, a former Hall of Famer, explained in the U.S. News that people who take steroids do it to cheat and to get an edge on the game. But still, they're being considered inductees into the Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, you have a guy like Pete Rose, who was nowhere near that type of player. The guy didn't even drink or smoke, but a guy who just went out and played the game fair with blood, sweat, and tears, rather than cornerstones or antibiotic steroids. And still, after 27 years, he is being underappreciated as a Hall of Fame inductee. In Kennedy Costa's article in the Sports Illustrated, she asked Pete Rose his view between betting on baseball and taking steroids. Rose quoted, quote, "To all young kids out there, I'd say don't do either, but if you had to do the one that I didn't do, you have a good chance of hurting your body in the long run." End quote. Now that I've discussed with you the difference between Pete Rose and steroid users, let me talk to you now on how Pete Rose changed the game of baseball and why he should be a face of the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose put his money where his mouth was, on the field. However, some people didn't look at him like that. The mistake Rose made off the field started changing fans' viewpoints of him. They started looking at him as a disgrace to baseball rather than the elite player he once was. People need to look beyond his mistake and view Pete Rose by his playing ability and what he did for baseball. Eric Johnson, a former Major League Baseball player, when asked about Pete Rose, quoted, quote, "Gambling is a rather unhealthy habit, but it does not make a man a bad baseball player. It only affects his wealth. Rose gambled for a while, but he was always a good baseball player." End quote. The Major League Baseball Hall of Fame doesn't elect players by their personalities or off-field issues, but by how they left it all on the field at the end of the day. Rose is a prime example of someone who did that. Rose would sacrifice his life if it meant he could play one more day of baseball. And if you ask any dead Hall of Fame legend, I'm sure they'd want their names to be mentioned with guys who put so much love and passion on the field, just like Pete Rose did. In conclusion, Pete Rose has spent 27 years of his life dealing with this punishment. He has accepted the consequence and it's time to let him in. Although Pete Rose made a mistake by disobeying the laws of baseball, people should look further and give him a second chance. Pete Rose was a rare baseball player in the Major League. There may never be anyone else who played the way he played the game, and for that reason, he should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Thank you.